I was born and raised in Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles, actually. I grew up at a time when, we had the crack epidemic, gangs, drugs ran rampant, and raised, a single parent home by my mother predominantly, and my grandmother and my aunts assisted, and the neighborhood helped. Which, sometimes was good, sometimes was bad, but that's the environment in which I grew up in. And from there, through high school and things of that nature, I was introduced to the arts, and I feel like that was something that really prevented me from making some of the choices that friends of mine made that led them into prison and led them into, early deaths, to be perfectly honest with you. So I grew up in that kind of environment, and I just kind of always wanted something different. I was like the weird kid. Like, I was friends with everybody. I was kind of the cool kid, but secretly I was really the weird kid. That when everybody was out riding bikes and things of that nature, I'd be in the house reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. So it was like an interesting upbringing, but I loved it. It was great. Dysfunctional like everybody's is, but I think the dysfunction makes us function. Boyle Heights Technology Youth Center is it's a program that's set up in the community, and it gives inner city youth an opportunity to go in and learn media, to learn about how to make a commercial or to record music and things of that nature, kind of like in front of the camera or on the microphone, and also behind the scenes where there's a ton of jobs. And the great thing about that's a lot of opportunity for them to not be on the street. So for like at-risk use and things of that nature, different places throughout the country, wherever I can, I'm an advocate for those kinds of activities, because for me, the drama department in my high school, soon as school was out, when a lot of friends went and hung out on a corner, I was inside the theater doing stretches and learning lines, and I had friends that were in a band and everything. So like with the Technology Youth Center, that was just started doing that. I'm going to donate a lot more time there to help kind of mentor however I can and encourage them in that direction. There's a group in Northern California, like in East Palo Alto near Stanford, which has like this mural and arts program project. So I go up there and help them out. Actually, directed a music video for the kids. It was a great experience for me to just watch these youth that grow up in this environment very similar to the one that I grew up in. And once again, they can make choices, but they have a studio built there. They do murals, beautiful murals all throughout the city, all through the East Bay area, from like San Francisco to Oakland, near Stanford University. Stanford is great because a lot of the alumni help them out. So it's good. There's a lot of giving back going on in the world right now, because that's the only way we'll ever be able to get ahead, is just to literally give back, literally reach, grab people that are in a position not as fortunate as yours and pull them forward. Life. Because the thing about whatever it is you do, if you're a plumber, if you're a school teacher, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you have a life that does not stop because you're choosing to take a certain path. So I think the biggest thing is just trying to navigate all that other stuff that you have to tend to, whether you're a parent, you have relationship problems, which is it's always a thing, is a factor, and take that and be able to zero in and focus on the task at hand being your career, but at the same time not putting so much into the career that you're losing family, friends, and things of that nature. So for me, one of the biggest obstacles I think has just been balance and understanding, like I said earlier, just persistence, because this is the industry full of no's, and you're too. You're too tall, you're too short, you're too dark, you're too light, you're too whatever. So you have to kind of be able to just let that come in one ear, out the other, stay focused, persistent. I'd say me personally, because everybody kind of has their own path, which is interesting about Hollywood. There's no one story. Every one of my friends that's an actor, everyone I encounter has a totally different story. Some people have the fairy tale story, which mine, I was discovered by an agent as I was just sitting in a chair somewhere. But this was after trial and error, failed attempts at trying to solicit agents, managers, anybody I could. And then one day I'm sitting in a chair, and the guy is like, "Oh, you got a great look." But whatever your path is, for me personally, which is faith and believing and having that source that's bigger than anything down here because this is a very difficult industry. It's a dream shared by millions. So my biggest piece of advice is persistence. Persistence.